good.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for being here. I really appreciate it. I'm going to turn the camera around so that way while we're putting bags out, you can see everybody if they come in and stuff.
Heather, would you be willing to let me share my screen so I can present the PowerPoint?
Oh, yes. Let me see. I think if I go into the participants, I can give you permissions, can't I?
Yeah, I think sometimes you have to make them a co-host.
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Do you have permissions?
Yes, I do. Should I go ahead and present now, or are you wanting to cover some things first in your meeting?
No, you guys can go ahead and present now because I know you probably have other things today. And like I said, I'll record it so that way anybody who shows up late, they can watch it later, or, you know, they can, if they don't come, they can watch it at their own convenience. So I really appreciate this, you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Can you all see that? I'm guessing people on Zoom can't see that. I don't know.
We can see it here and Zoom.
Okay, awesome. Okay, so just a quick introduction. I'm Elle Perkins. I'm the chair of the Government Relations Committee, and I have some else here with us today for my committee if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Chrislyn Shear. I'm also a senator in the Government Relations Committee.
Okay, so we're going to run through this pretty quickly out of respect for all of your time, but this QR code will connect you guys to TurboVote. I don't know if you're familiar with this software, but it basically will just help you register to vote, request an absentee ballot, or get some voting or election day reminders. If you don't want to scan this now, you can go to vote.org later, and you can do all these things in less than 2 minutes. So it's a really quick process. Feel free to do this later on your own time.
So we have a few key dates to remember. So the deadline to register to vote, if you're not registered at all in Kansas, is October 13th. And then to request an absentee ballot or an advance ballot, so you don't have to vote in person on election day or voting early, is October 27th. And then we have voting early on WSU campus at Koch Arena on October 22nd from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then election day is November 3rd from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And then that's when you can go and actually vote with everyone else on the same day.
Yeah, so keep note of the fact that even if you're from a different state, you can be registered in Kansas as well. You can be registered in multiple states at once. So something to just keep in mind if you decide, you just can only vote once, obviously. So yeah, okay. So some quick tips if you decide to vote by mail. So request and return your ballot early. They're going to have a historically large number of ballots this year being sent in by mail. So they're going to have a really hard time processing all of that in time. So the sooner you can request it and the sooner you can return it will just make the process easier and more efficient. So we'll know the results sooner of the election, and all of that just makes it better for everyone. Also, just double check your ballot that you've signed it, you've filled out everything you need to. You don't have to vote in every election. I would recommend that you do. But just make sure you're fulfilling all the requirements or your ballot can be thrown out, and you don't want that to happen. So, and if you decide to vote by mail, I would recommend that you go to the Secretary of State's website. That's what's listed here. And you can track your ballot that you mail in so you can make sure that it's getting counted and getting to the right place. So just a cool tool that you can use.
So I'm not sure if we have anyone here to ask questions, but we do have some frequently asked questions. So can I register to vote with my WSU address? Yes, you can. You can also change your address for your current registration to your WSU address, or you can make a new registration under it. And what will be on the ballot? That will be the U.S. President, U.S. Senate, U.S. House, and then state legislature, which is state Senate, state House, district court judges, and other county and city level races. And then also, if you want to have more information on who's running, if you're voting in Kansas in a separate city or something, or in another state where you're from, you can go to www.vote411.org, and then you could do / your home state, and then it'll give you more information.
Yeah, that Vote 411 is also the tool you can use to find your polling location. It's a really great tool. You can just enter in your address in less than a minute, know where, if you decide to vote in person, where to vote. And it's just a really amazing thing. Like she said on the previous slide, like I think a lot of people don't really pay attention to some of the more local races, which totally makes sense, but you are gonna have to vote on them. So it's important that like you look into who you might be voting on in advance. So I just recommend that you do that if you're willing to. And then if you decide to vote in person, what you need to bring to the polls is just a government issued ID, but this can also be your WSU ID. So let's say you don't have a Kansas driver's license, but you want to go to the polls and you're registered in Cedar County, you can just use your WSU ID to go. And if you don't have an ID, you can cast a provisional ballot. So I think that's a really important thing to remember. I know sometimes things happen, you forget a piece of ID, you just have to provide proof of ID and within the next couple weeks. So sometimes poll workers don't know that and they might tell you, like send you away, and they're wrong. Sometimes you have to know your rights and you have to know that you can vote. So yeah.
Okay, and then we just have a few more resources. I just want to thank you for listening. Thank you for watching later. So yeah, here's the QR code for TurboVote again, and then there's also a few websites that you can look up. And yeah, so we have general election updates and contact information for Ella. So you can contact her at her email or her personal phone number.
Yeah, feel free to always text me. I get texts all the time for people that I've been giving these presentations to, and I'm always quick to respond, and I swear I will answer your questions. I know especially sometimes when people are from, like Chrysalid is a great example, she's from Oklahoma. She's decided to vote in Oklahoma, but there's plenty of people that want to vote here but are having to send their ballot out of state, and there's some questions that come up with that, like if you are sending your ballot back to Oklahoma and Missouri, you might have to get your ballot notarized, which is a weird thing. You can do that for free in the post office on campus, so just something to keep in mind. But if you have questions like that, feel free to text me anytime. I'll always get back to you. And just a quick note, they are still looking for poll workers, so if you're willing, able to work at the polls, our democracy depends on people being willing to work the polls. So if you're willing to do that, the application only takes a couple minutes, and you get paid $9.15 an hour. It's not bad, and you're really doing a service to your entire community by doing that. So thank you so much for letting us talk to you today and take a little bit of your time, and we just really appreciate it. I'm happy to answer any questions if you have any, but again, I don't think too many people are here, so you can just ask me later if you have any questions.
That was great, thank you. So I don't know that anybody, do you guys have questions about voting? Have you registered to vote and everything?
I registered.
You've already registered to vote? Everybody inside the room is registered to vote, so I did my advanced ballot request already in the mail, so I'm very excited about that. So there's no reason for me to not vote this year. Thank you.
So much for your time.
No, thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us.
I was
Yeah.
going to say, everybody vote. It's our right. We all fought very hard for it. You know, I'm always trying to encourage people to vote. So yes, get out there and do our civic duty there. So thank you guys.
Thank you. Well, we're gonna head out, but have a good day, everyone, and I hope your meeting goes well.
Thank you. Yeah, everybody's here too. Just two, but we're here. How are you?
I am good. I am good. How are all of you guys doing?
She can hear
There's
someone here in the middle.
I don't know. Does it show them in the middle? Does it show you guys?
Yeah, give them a little bit there. There you guys are. Well, I will just introduce myself a little bit here. My name is Ashlyn Riley. I am a social service coordinator for Care Team here at WSU. And actually my office is located in the RSC in room 222, which is right across from the restrooms on that second floor where the elevators are. Care Team is awesome. I'll kind of just talk a little bit about Care Team real quick to you guys. Care Team, we are here to support you. No issue is too big or too small. So if you have just questions about where something's located on campus or a question about where things are in the community, you can feel free to shoot us an email. I believe we have a care email. It's care@wichita.edu. That's just our general care email. There's 3 of us coordinators. If there's anybody in housing or living at Shocker Hall or the flats or the suites, Tara Hanna is your person. She is located in Shocker Hall. She is awesome. If you are part of fine arts or applied studies, or kind of any of the other colleges that aren't LAS, engineering, or honors, then Vaughn Sweet is your person, another great coordinator. And then I have the rest of the colleges. I take care of LAS, engineering, and honors. And while we're split up that way, all of us can help answer any type of questions or any concerns you have. You know, care team is really about see something, say something. So if you know a friend or a teacher or a roommate, you know, that just might be struggling, whether it's with, you know, anxiety or finances, or you just notice that, you know, they're not acting how they usually do, feel free to send us a report at wichita.edu/care. You can fill out a report, and pretty much all that does is it allows us to get some of that information about maybe what's going on or what you saw. It's all confidential, so we're not going to tell the person who it was that reported them. We're not going to tell the person, you know, we don't share anything with parents, nothing with teachers unless permission is given. So I do want to let people know that it is confidential. So whatever happens or whatever you say in care team stays in care team. But yeah, and what we do is we just reach out to the student and try to provide resources and support both on and off campus. And like I said, that no issue is too big or too small. It can be a question, it can be just stress and academics, it can be, you know, food insecurity, housing insecurity, or financial insecurity. And it can also go all the way to, you know, depression, suicide prevention, anything like that as well. So we work very closely with a lot of different departments on campus, such as CAPS counseling, disability services, the success coaches, advising, financial aid. So like I tell people, you know, if you have a question or a concern or need something, we probably have a connection for it somewhere on campus. And if not on campus, then off campus. And I also want to share with you that before you guys leave the RSC today, if you wanted to stop by room 231, which is right across the hall from Office of Diversity and Inclusion, you can pick up a academic, kind of like a journal or a planner. You can pick up an academic planner if you don't have one, and pick up a bag of popcorn as well, with some of our contact information on it as well for you guys. And I just want to say thank you to Heather for letting me come and talk to you guys about Care Team. But I also want to talk to you guys a little bit just about self-care and kind of some events that we have going on. As I mentioned, Tara Hanna, she is over in Shocker Hall, and about once a month, I think we're trying to make it more, but for right now, once a month, she has something called Self-Care Sundays. I don't know if anybody has gone to one. The first one, I believe, was planting little succulents. She got little succulents for everybody, and you got to decorate the pot and have a little succulent. The last Self-Care Sunday was a movie day, and we showed the movie Black Panther. So I'm not sure what this October's is. We've all suggested for her to have another movie night and watch Hocus Pocus, but we'll see how that goes. But yeah, definitely keep up to date a little bit with the event calendars. Check in with Tara Hanna or the front desk at Shocker Hall, you know, and just kind of see what the event is for the Self-Care Sunday and when it is. And that kind of leads me into the segue about self-care. I'm so glad to see that there are people here painting pumpkins and just enjoying October 2nd and just taking some time for yourselves. I know that this is, a very stressful year. It's thrown a lot of curveballs at us. And, a lot of us are kind of just in the rut a little bit right now. But that's okay. One of the things is we are all in this together and we will all get through it together. But it's so important that you do make time to take care of you. And part of that is self-care. Now, self-care can look like anything and everything, right? It can be just your general music or exercising, when you've got time coloring and drawing. If you have any interests or hobbies and you're like, man, I love to draw, but I haven't in a while. Or, oh, I have, I used to, I don't know, used to do something that you don't do anymore because you're so busy. I think we've all been there, right? I think we're all going a mile a minute and things are kind of crazy. But make sure to find time to enjoy those fun things just for yourself, right? Make those 30 minutes a day or an hour a day. Give yourself that chance to sit down and read a book, to take your eyes off of the computer, off of the phone. Go outside, get some fresh air, open up your windows. Those are kind of like some little things that you can do to just kind of help boost your mood, boost your energy levels, and just kind of give you a peace of mind. Something else that's really great, I know that a lot of people will say, oh, I've tried all these coping skills or I've done all these different self-care, there's nothing else to do. Well, I would challenge you guys to Google like 99 self-care ideas or 99 coping skills. And there's tons of really cool websites out there that will give you a list of 99, 100, 101 different things you can do, right? Different things to do when you're home alone or different things to do with friends or with family. So definitely, take the time to try some of those things out and to really do those. I know that, like I said, we're very busy. We live in a go-go world, right? And it can be kind of hard just to find the time to take a step back. But really make sure to, because that's really good just for your own mental health. And I think especially now, with voting, with getting closer to the election, and just the news, we all need a little something to just kind of smile about and give us something to kind of just pick me up a little bit. So make sure to always remember your self-care, always take care of yourself, eat well, stay hydrated, put your phone down before you go to sleep, for at least 30 minutes. Really just sometimes even those small things can really make a huge difference in your mood, attention, mental health, and just kind of how you feel. If you have any questions about any self-care, or you want some ideas, or you're not sure what to do or where to look, like I said, Google is a great one, or ask Care Team. We're definitely here, located in the RSC, and we would be happy to help. Does anybody have any questions at all, maybe about Care Team or different ways of self-care, or how to navigate the new kind of COVID world that we're in at this moment? I know you guys are busy painting, so I don't want to distract.
Did you have a good turnout yesterday?
We did. We had about 10 people total, so that was really great. We did get a lot of students who asked about first gen graduate school. And so we don't have as much resources for first gen graduates. We have a few, but that is definitely something that I would like to expand upon, because I feel like when we talk about first gen, sometimes it's kind of limited, and I want to make sure that we're getting those other first geners as well.
Our organization's open to all first-gen students, either graduate, non-graduate students. It's not just undergrad. We even have faculty members who are part of the first-gen organization. So it's not limited, and we can actually have members that aren't first gen. They can be first gen supporters, which is also fantastic. But it is hard because a lot of the first gen students we get, they're newer to school. So a lot of their questions is, how do you operate Blackboard? How do you add and drop classes? How do you, what Shopper Sync? How do you Shopper Blast? You know, just making connections on campus. I agree, there should be a little bit more for grad school, the side of it. We're slowly adding more resources to our organization. It's so hard right now because when we do our meetings, it's like, you don't want to target just one genre of first gen students, so you kind of make it like an overview. But I have so many resources that when people come and go, hey, do you know how maybe I could talk to somebody about this? Like, I know who to get them in contact with.
Right.
So that does help a lot. But, you know, like next week we have Kay. She's coming and she's going to talk about trio services, disability services,
Yes.
Those are really good resources as well. But they also serve graduate students too. So I think it's
that is definitely something to remind people, because those services, disability, trio, they do serve, like you said, they do serve graduate students as well. A lot of the billing for a lot of organizations, programs are geared to undergrad, but usually if you ask, you know, that's just kind of a, you know, like a guideline. They do serve a lot more people than just maybe what they're advertising for. So definitely be sure to ask about that, because you know, you ask and, you know, that's when you find out, or else you'll never know. So
did you know that we do have a graduate student organization? Did you know that?
I do.
Yeah, so I don't know if you know this, but the SBA is working with the minority student organization. So it's us, it's the Latino, it's the Black Student Union, it's grad student organization. There's another, it's a Native American. There's a couple other minority student organizations, but we're forming an agency on campus.
Okay.
So we'll all be under one umbrella, and all the presidents will sit on a board together, and we'll discuss all of our events that we have, so we can support each other. Spectrum will also be part of it too. They signed up to be part. So I think it'll be really good because we'll have more resources, so our events aren't just targeted towards one genre of underrepresented student. Everybody can come and, you know, support each other. So I mean, obviously the student organizations have their own kind of requirements. So
right.
But it would just, there's so many students that fit so many different organizations, and having all the presidents together, being able to share all the resources with as many students as possible, I think it's really good. It's more collective.
Yes, that is very exciting.
Yeah.
I know I would really love to see WSU and its organizations work a little bit more together. I know, Heather, I know you and I have talked about this. We're all fighting for you know, students' attention and this and that. And I think we could all benefit our students and the campus and the community as a whole if we, you know, powwow a little more together and help each other out a little bit more. So that's very exciting that, you know, we've got some people that are coming together and kind of doing that a little bit. So that is very exciting. Very exciting.
I don't know if you've heard, do you know who Olivia Madden is?
Yes, that name sounds very familiar.
She is the one who's writing the bill for us to be able to form the agency.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then we'll be able to ask for actual funding, more funding for targeted demographics of students. So that would be really great too, because there's a lot of scholarships out there, but it doesn't always fit all the needs of the underrepresented students. Like you have to either be this major or you have to be that, but now we'll be able to collect together and make fundraising possible for a larger population of the student organization. I mean, think about it. First Gen is 5,200 students right now on WSU campus. That's a
Yes.
lot. And then how many of those students are also part of the other organizations? So it's, yeah, I think it'll be a great thing.
Definitely. And, I think it'd be really cool too. I've also gotten a lot of questions from students and care team regarding how to get connected, not only on campus, but in the Wichita area and the Wichita community. And I think it would be really cool. Now, I know that there are a few organizations, I'm not as familiar with them, but I would love to see a little bit more community engagement, I mean, where WSU is located. We're located in an area that can really provide a lot of support to the surrounding kind of just neighborhoods and communities just across the street from us. And I think that would be so cool if we were able to branch into that and then maybe, figure out a way to do some fun art things downtown or engage the community in other ways, just so that those students, no matter what year, no matter undergrad or graduate, if they're coming here for school, I would like for them to feel like Wichita is a fun place and, and a home away from home for them too, not just our campus. And so if anybody is, curious about what to do, if they have a Facebook or a Twitter, the Wichita art scene is awesome. You can follow their page and they're always posting about, Final Fridays or cool art things that are going on in the community. I have this one group called Big Screens Wichita, and during October, during spooky season, they will play a lot of really old classics at movie theaters, usually the downtown one. And I mean, they're gonna play, Night of the Living Dead and, really obscure ones and just really older horror movies. But it's a lot of fun. And there's so many just other things that students can find throughout Wichita to just get them connected with that community as well, which would be very cool and very beneficial, I think, too.
So the First Gen Student Organization, we volunteer with mental health services in the community doing a mentorship. And then we are also working with Wichita Gear Up. We are doing FAFSA Day with them on the 10th of this month. They had another event, but because of COVID and the restrictions, they had to cancel that. But so yeah, we're trying to get out there in the community. We're trying to make our presence here. So
Yes.
a lot of the services that we're going to be volunteering with are organizations that are full of students that are going to be considered first generation students.
Yes.
And there are other students too. So it'd be great to give back to the community, because that's how you make change. You make generational change through education.
Yes, that is so true. Education, those connections, and those different relationships that you form. And I just think that's so wonderful, and I would love for, my hope is it's so funny, we did a 5-year plan recently of where Care Team would like to be. And eventually, all goes well, we would eventually like to have more coordinators here on campus that can help students, and then have some of our coordinators actually go to middle schools, high schools, maybe elementary schools, and talk to them about WSU, talk to them about mental health, self-care, and really try to start just some of that introspection into mental health and emotions early on. That way we can really help students, recognize triggers, learn how to use coping skills, or self-care ideas, different things like that, just to kind of help the community at large. So, I mean, I think so many amazing things are happening, and I know COVID kind of did throw a bump in the road for some of us, but, I think if anything, it's really given us a time to really think and plan and say, okay, what's going to be our plan of attack once things get a little bit back to normal, right? So very exciting, very, very exciting.
I think it's changed a lot of people's immediate needs. They realize what's important mostly to them? Is it family? Is it education? Is it working 70 hours a week? I think a lot of people will put it in perspective of, wow, I didn't realize how much I put off for this purpose when all these things over here are actually the important things in my life. So I've seen a big shift, even in my own workplace, I've seen a big shift. A lot of people going, I'm not working more than 40 hours a week. I'm spending time with my family. Or they're getting, you know, more exercise in their day. And they're generally just happier people now. So
Yeah.
it's nice.
It is. It is. You know, sometimes through adversity or through, you know, pandemics, I guess, you know, you learn a lot of things about yourself, about your friends, your community. And I think it does. It does kind of just help you realize and put things into perspective, change things to something positive or realize something. You know, I've definitely felt that way, like with my family. You know, we've still get together, but we're careful. But I think that we've enjoyed each other's company so much more now. Just, you know, just really valuing the time and just really being in the present moment of just, you know, really enjoying it and not worrying about, you know, maybe the past or the future right now, just because things are just a little uncertain, that I'm kind of like, you know, I'm gonna try not to worry about things until, you know, I know more or until they come. And that's been very nice. That's been very nice. So.
Almost like the pandemic was a blessing in disguise for, I think for just humanity in general, not the negative, because it has brought a lot of chaos and destruction with it too.
Yeah, it has.
But there has been a lot of good that came from it also. So I think focusing on some of the positives that came, while the negatives are still important to still learn from those things, this is a new time for a lot of people. It's not something we've ever went through before. We've never had children at home that we've had to teach. We've never had to do most of our stuff online. We've never had to be social distancing so much. So I think it really does put a lot of things in perspective.
It does. It does. And you know, I'm hopeful. You know, I am. I think that you know, change doesn't happen, whether it's positive or negative, you know, change doesn't happen without there being, you know, something to cause it. And while this may not be the most positive thing to happen, I do think it has created some positives. And I do hope that we as individuals, community, country, learn and grow and hopefully learn to work together a little bit better. But you know, I'm hopeful. I am.
Well, thank you. Do you guys have anything? Did you get a planner?
A planner?
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
You didn't. So what you said it's in
Yes. 231, office 231, across from ODI, Office of Diversity and Inclusion. And you just walk in there and let them know that, tell them Ashlyn sent you. And make sure to pick yourself up a planner and a little box of popcorn if you'd like as well. So yeah.
great yesterday.
Yeah. You know, we have so many boxes of popcorn, and my boss was like, we need to figure out a way to get rid of it. I'm like, I don't think we can get rid of this many by the end of this week. And so it's very funny because I've gotten a text from my boss coworkers who are like, you know, we've had way too much popcorn. We can't stand any more popcorn because we're all trying to like eat it and make it not go to waste. So I think we're all a little popcorn down at the moment.
Yes, I agree. That's funny. That's great. But so if you hear of first-gen students that are graduate students, I mean, of course, like we would be more than welcome to have them, you know, join our meetings as well. I think a lot of the things that we go through as first gen, it doesn't matter what year in school that we're really in, because we're all going through it just at a different point in our life.
Yes.
We have you know, you have the first gen students who are coming in that are 18, 19 years old, so this is their first time ever experiencing campus. You have returning adult students who are in their 30s coming to school, and this is their first time on campus. So while they may have the social interaction down a little bit more than the 18 and 19-year-olds, or less because they may have less friends. So it's, I think that we still can help a bigger population of first gen students, not just first year students. So.
Right, right. I agree. Well, I will definitely, I marked the one student's email, so I will definitely get her in touch with you guys and let her know, and then hopefully maybe some of those resources might be beneficial for her. So, for sure. Yeah, that's so exciting. And I just want to say thank you guys for coming and decorating pumpkins. Enjoy your self-care. I'm always about doing something creative. So I'm so happy to see you guys, you know, having fun and doing that. So that's great. And then, yeah, I mean, don't hesitate to reach out to care team, spread the news. I know a lot of students think sometimes they're in trouble when different, you know, care team or conduct or whatever it is reaches out to them. Now I can't speak for conduct maybe, but for care team, you know, we're just here really just to support, and we just want to make sure that, you know, you guys are doing good, both inside and out. And if there's any way that we can help, you know, we're all about that. So, you know, don't hesitate. I promise I don't bite.
No, you don't. Every time I've ever had an interaction with you, it's always been so positive and great. And you have this presence about yourself that just brings happiness. So.
Well, I try. You know, I know we're all in different places in our lives, and I always tell students, you know, I may not be able to fix everything, right, as much as I would love to, but if I'm able to make a student smile or laugh or just have a little bit of a peace of mind, at least be able to breathe for the day, you know, then that's good. And you know, so that reminds me, pat yourselves on the back for small accomplishments. I know midterms are coming up here soon, kind of October. Nothing is too big or too small to give yourself some credit. So, you know, if you're wanting to study more, but you're only able to study for an hour or 30 minutes that day, that's okay. You know, that's good. That's an accomplishment. Give yourself praise for that. So just remember that it doesn't always need to be a big goal or a big accomplishment for you to feel proud of yourself too. So sometimes it's just those baby steps that get us there to that bigger goal. So just wanted to put that out there as well. So
That's true. I think sometimes you do forget about those little things.
Yes. You know, it's so funny. I mean, and maybe it's just because I'm in this world a lot, right? So I'm trying to always practice what I preach. But yeah, you know, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. There was one time, so naps are my weakness. Naps are my it's my Achilles heel, right? And I have a tendency to set my alarm for 30 minutes. And I don't know what happens, but I just sleep through it. I don't know if I wake up and turn it off. Like, I don't remember. All I know is I wake up like an hour later. But recently I've been, you know, I was like, okay, I'll try something different. I'm just going to kind of like positive reinforcement for myself when I am able to hear my alarm and get up. And you know what? It works. And anytime now I've taken a nap and I've woken up in 30 minutes. And it's nice to actually wake up and hear your alarm and be like, yeah, okay, you know, so it could be something as small as that, right? That you're just able to make that, you know, make that timer or get out of bed when you're supposed to, anything like that. But yes, because I'll tell you what, you guys, I take a nap and an hour later and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's been an hour, oh my gosh. So yes. And, huh?
One day I will. One day I'll get more naps.
I know, it's always, isn't that how it goes, that as a kid, right, we get naps, but we don't want to take them. And then it's not until we become adults that we're like, what was I thinking? You know, naps are, they're so nice. So
Yeah.
funny how that happens. Very funny how that happens.
Yeah.
Oh, also, if you guys stop off in room 231, pick up a little bookmark. It has all, you'll be able to see us. It's got all of our little pictures on it, and that has some of our contact information. So you can hand those out to some people, or you can just keep it on your fridge or post it somewhere, just so that if you do have a question or need to get in touch with somebody, you know how to get a hold of us. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I have that packet from when we did the paint your tile with you guys.
Yes.
I made photocopies of it when I was at work one day, and I have a PDF version of it, so if anybody watching this later wants it, I can email it to them.
Perfect.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yes. Spread the word, spread the news. We're here for you guys. Anyway.
Thank you. We really appreciate you guys and all the little events that you guys do, because we don't have to plan those, and we get to come and just relax. So it is also equally enjoyable.
Oh, good. You know, and we're hoping, you know, hopefully after this semester and we start all getting in the groove of things, we're hoping to have some more events and more fun things coming to students. So do be on the lookout. But so, well, I hate to let you guys go, but I really appreciate you having me on. I'm so glad that you guys came and got to do something fun for today. And, you know, if you need me or need anything, reach out to Care Team, let Heather know. You know, I'd be happy to do this again. And maybe next time I'll be able to actually come on campus. So I'll be able to paint some pumpkins with you guys. So.
We have a fundraiser at the end of this month that we're doing. We're doing a bake sale outside of the RNC, so that'll be fun. I'm hoping that in November we might be able to do like because we can't have any on-campus events after Thanksgiving. So
Right.
I know that it's kind of premature, but I'm hoping that maybe we can do like make your own Christmas ornaments or something, like a shoe style Christmas ornament. So I'm hoping that we make enough money from our bake sale that we can do another fun activity.
Oh, yes. Oh, well, let me know. I would love to help any way I can. And I might definitely have to buy some goodies from the bake sale because sweets are another one of my weakness. So.
Yeah, we're gonna do cocoa and we're gonna have like Rice Krispie treats, decorated like sugar cookies, and yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's gonna be, that sounds amazing. Sounds amazing already.
Yeah, and of course it'll be on Chakra Blast, and then on any of our social medias we'll have it posted as well. It's kind of in because we'll have the art gallery also. We're taking over the cabinet and we're having a first gen art gallery set up. So it'll be the last week in October and the first week in November. So that'll be very exciting.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's wonderful. I'm actually planning on writing up a little, you know, just kind of midterm check-in for my students. So I will definitely make sure to encourage them to check out some of the events and fun things going on this month too, just to have them get out of their dorms a little bit and look at some art. So,
Yeah.
oh, wonderful.
That'd be great.
Yes. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. So wonderful to see you guys. Enjoy your pumpkins. And
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. And I would be happy to do this again sometime. This was a lot of fun. So thank you so much, Heather.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, you guys.
Bye. It's already almost. I'm surprised nobody else joined on.